Hey everyone, what's going on? Nexius here, bringing you guys a quick update on my ladder character. I know a lot of you guys are hyped right now for the ladder. So this is my Sorceress on day 2 of the ladder. So it is actually about 4 days after the ladder, but I haven't played this character since the second day. So as soon as I saw that the servers were going to be delayed for 2 hours, I decided to just not play and wait the next day. I didn't have a team, so there was no reason to stay around. So I just waited until the next day. So day 2 comes across of ladder, December 13, I think, and then of course I made my Sorceress in a public match. I started off as Fire. I went points into Firebolt until I had Fireball, and then every point went into Fireball except for 1 Telekinesis and 1 Teleport. I didn't even pick up Static Field because another source had it, so I went pure Fireball for the damage. And then as soon as I got to Act 5 normal, I switched over to Blizzard, or Act 4 normal, sorry. I switched over to Blizzard when I hit 24. And then I've been Blizzard since. So that's what I kind of ran here. I'm Blizzard still because Blizzard is really good. Fire starts being terrible by the night or normal Act 4 time. All the fire resistant minions like Venom Lords and whatnot. So I decided to go Blizzard instead. What I usually like to do in a ladder reset, if I have a team, is I usually go Static Field and Teleport. I will teleport for my team, assuming no one has Map Hack, because cheating is bad, guys. I don't use Map Hack, it's gross. So what I like to do is I like to teleport for my team if they let me, and then I go Static Field. And I can just static everything and get them very low while my team finishes them off. Static Field is so good in normal. If you guys watch speedruns, you'll notice that everyone goes Static Field and Nova for the exact same reason. You static stuff and then Nova to finish off. It's really good. So I go Static Teleport, assuming I'm allowed to teleport for the team. If not, I usually go Fire or Cold. As I did mention, I went Fire at first and then swapped over to Cold. Now, in terms of my gear, I want to show you guys what I have and what I plan to in order to get this stuff right away. So like my Spirit Sword, I got it in the first day very, very quickly, and I'll show you guys how. So let's pretend this is normal here. So in normal, what I like to do is do Countess quickly with my team. Now, if we get lucky, we get a Tal rune or an Eth rune. If we don't get lucky, we get none of them, and then hopefully both of them drop by the time we hit, say, Act 4. So usually in most of my ladder runs, we will find one of those runes in Act 2, say an Eth rune, and then we'll find a Tal rune in, say, Act 3. So I can usually pick up a stealth around level 20. But I got lucky this ladder, and I killed the Countess by myself when my team was running Andariel, and the Countess dropped both a Tal and an Eth on the first drop. Now that is like ultimate speedrunner luck right there. Unfortunately, it's not a speedrun, but that's what I got. I got both a Tal and Eth on the first run, immediately bought an armor off Act 1 over here. So what I'd like to do as well is if a 2-socket armor does not drop by the time I hit 17, I'll run over and I'll buy a 2-socket armor here. And that's where I got this, and now I have it. So getting a stealth early on is really great. Everything else, I basically looked for castrate items. So every time a ring or an amulet would drop, I would pray that they were castrate. As you can see, 10 castrate, 10 castrate, and I still don't have one for an amulet yet. Now for my shield, it's just rare stuff. I did get lucky with like other boots here and stuff, which don't really matter early on. But I found the chance guards off Nightmare Mephisto. I found these, someone dropped them in an Act 5 Bale run, so I just picked them up. Rare belt here. What else do I have? Cathans for the hit recovery. I picked that up there. I found like 3 Icenheart armors by the time I got to Act 2 normal. Absolutely crazy. Rare helmet here for the mana and the res, basically. And my Spirit Sword. I got this on the first day, and this is how I get the Spirit Sword so quickly. Normal Act 5 or normal cows. If you can find a crystal sword with no sockets, you can go to Shank in Act 5, Quest 1, and you can socket the sword, and it will turn into a 4-socket. So I found this sword in normal Act 5, and once we did Shank the Overseer, I socketed it, and then I had the 4-socket sword. I had the Tal and the Ort from Quest 2 here in normal. When you finish this quest, he will give you a Ral, Ort, and Tal. So I saved the Tal and Ort here for the sword. Now, we also got lucky in normal, because in normal Act 4, we found 2 Thal runes. One dropped off a minion, and then a Thal rune dropped from one of the chests in Act 4 in Chaos Sanctuary. So when we got into Chaos, we found 2 Thal runes. I picked up the first one, so all I needed was an Am rune, which actually dropped off Nightmare and Dario. So I had the Spirit pretty much right away, which was great. So that's the best way you can make a Spirit, is by finding that sword. That's the real important one. If you cannot find the other runes, Nightmare Countess should cover you perfectly fine. But generally, you will find these runes by either quest number 2, which is easy and guaranteed, and of course eventually through Nightmare if you can get lucky. But for the sword, that's the challenge, and you want to keep your eyes open for Act 5 normal, and if you're doing cows at all, same thing. Then you can socket it. Of course, you can look for a 4-socket longsword, 4-socket crystal sword, 4-socket broadsword. Those all work as well. So that's what I look for when it comes to early on in the ladder. Now for insight, I have Raltier Tal Soul as well. I found the Soul of Nightmare Countess, and I found these runes as I was going through normal and nightmare as well. So I just need the polearm for an insight, and I'm good. Now, as for my other items here, I have a Tancred, you know, a Death Bit. I have a 3 Poison Bone Wand, some Urathas here, and some random runes. So nothing too special here, some more random runes here. But those are generally, like that's my general thought process going into an early ladder. Spirit Sword, Rhyme, as you can see I have a 2-socket Kite Shield waiting for the Rhyme. I have not found a Shale yet, but once I get a Shale, I can go Shale Eth, and I'll have 25 Old Res and 25 Magic Find, which I can then throw onto here. Now, another thing I want to mention is, before the Spirit, I also try to find a wand with 20 cast rate. A Necromancer wand, a Sorceress wand, you can pick something up like that. I got lucky and I found this before I even got to Anya. Now, if you do Anya right here, quest number 3, you go talk to Anya, she will give you a random wand for your class. If you're a Sorceress, you get the wand. So you usually get a class item based off your class. If you're a Necro, you might get a Necromancer head and so forth. But for a Sorceress, you usually get the Sacred Globe kind of wand here. So I make sure to do Anya to get the wand, and I got lucky and got a 20 cast rate wand here. So I ran with this, and it gave me a good breakpoint. So one of the breakpoints I want to rush for is 63% cast rate. We have 25 from Stealth, 10, 20, which is 45, and then we get 20 from this, which is 65. So we hit the 63 breakpoint, which gives us cast rate. I'll show you guys an example here. So let's go to here. So we should have 65. Now you notice the rhythm of that. Now we take off this, which puts us below 63. You can see a small difference there in the breakpoints. So each class, as you guys will know, has that small, like they have breakpoint 63, 105, 117 for some abilities, for example. So you want to kind of hit that particular breakpoint you're looking for. So for me, it's usually 63. So the rings, the amulet if you're lucky, the stealth, and then if you can get some kind of cast rate weapon as well. So overall, that's my ladder character. Now, I do want to talk about one more quick thing, and that is, I don't know if I'm going to keep playing ladder. This is where bots and stuff usually come in, but I've heard that bots have been banned, map hacks been banned, so no one has really been running them for now. So I'm kind of tempted to stick around, but I'm not entirely sure if I want to. I very much prefer single player. The only reason to play multiplayer is to play with you guys, but honestly, I have like nobody. I have like one person on my friends list, and, you know, just in general, no one really plays hardcore. Games are basically dead. Let's just take a quick look. So it's not necessarily dead, but you can see like there's no bail runs. There's like 2 here and there by themselves. So there's not really that much to do here. This is at this point when I don't see a bail run like this, I would just magic find by myself. And if I'm going to magic find by myself, I might as well just go and play single player. That's how I basically look at it. So overall, that's my character in the ladder. I got this on day 2, basically, because I did start in day 2. I did not play day 1, and I haven't played since the 2nd day. But I'm top 600. I was top 200 earlier on day 2, I think it was, like up here. But as you can see, people are slowly catching up now in the 70s. So I have fallen behind, and I don't know if I'm going to keep playing much longer on Battle.net. I'm probably just going to go to single player. But overall, that's my progress. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Any questions, anything like that, don't be afraid to leave a comment down below. If you haven't started the ladder yet, I recommend checking out my Sorceress guide. I will leave it at the end of this video. So check the end of the video for my early ladder Sorceress guide, or just early ladder guide in general, and you can get some information on that. Thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on my next video.